What's up? I'm Tremaine, speaking on behalf of STEPUP, an acronym which stands for Selfless Thinking Expresses Potential that Uplifts People. STEPUP mission is to enlighten and empower you to help curb gun violence. The mission is to teach you how to resolve potentially violent situations in a civil manner through critical thinking and conflict resolution. I imagine when you first heard you'd be watching the video, there was some silence. Some probably already muted me or pulled out their phone. Nonetheless, I won't be long. If you or someone you know is not licensed to carry a gun, then it's illegal and you're going to jail. You've seen the news. Gun violence and homicides are on the rise. Too many youths are being shot and killed. Is there a way to curb this epidemic? Yes. If you know someone that is packing heat or whatever you call guns nowadays, then step up and say something to your friend. You'll save someone's life and keep your friend out of jail. And if you have an idea on how to help curb this epidemic, then step up and say something. The responsibility is not yours alone. If we come together on this issue, lives will be saved. Policymakers and law enforcement are stuck. Guns will continue to be manufactured and somehow make their way into hands of individuals who are not responsible enough to own them. Now, what you're about to watch are a series of reenactments of a situation with an individual. We'll call him Terrence. He's faced with an incident at school. Let's watch.
Yo, bro, I treat you up, man.
Yo, you better keep moving before you get hurt.
Alright, say less.
What could Taseer have done? Try to talk him out of it? Get some help? What do you think the appropriate thing was for him to have done? Let's continue to watch. If this is one of the scenarios you thought of, the end result will always be the same. Innocent people will die. You'll go to jail and your friend will go to jail if they choose not to say anything. Let's look at another scenario from the same conflict.
Yo, bro, I treat you up, man.
Yo, you better keep moving before you get hurt.
Alright, say less. Time to teach him a lesson, bro.
Really gonna shoot me because he bumped into you?
Yeah, you shouldn't just bang on the like that, man. Look.
Bro, my man Jason's got some time because he was called for it. It really ain't worth it.
Stepping up is as simple as what his friend just did. He voiced his concern. This is what true friends do. Before we see what he chooses to do, what would you do if you were Taseer? Would you talk to someone? Who? Or would you be satisfied Terrence left the gun in the backpack? Why? Let's see what Taseer chooses to do.
You've been puffing and blowing ever since you got home. What's going on? Taseer. Taseer. You want to talk about it?
At school today, I was walking with Terrence and this guy bumped into.
Oh, Brooks' boy, Terrence? Okay. What happened with you and Terrence?
He asked me to walk with him. He had a gun and wanted to use it on a guy who bumped into him. I told him about Jason and all the trouble he gotten into.
Where's the gun now, son?
I don't know. I think it's still in his book bag.
Okay. Come here.
Taseer did the right thing by letting his mother know. Worst case, Terrence be on some type of punishment. Perhaps no video games for a while. If you would have kept carrying that gun, used it, he would have lost a lot more than video games for a while. So be different. Step up, it will make a difference. Was this one of the scenarios you thought of? If so, that's good. You need to keep friends like this around, or continue to be that friend who gives this type of advice and won't be afraid to step up and talk to a responsible adult. Perhaps your parents, when situations like this arises. Friends won't egg you on because you choose to walk away from a conflict, but what if the friend is thinking the same way as the instigator? Who's to be a voice of reason in situations like this? Let's watch.
Yo, bro, watch where you up, man.
Yo, you better keep it moving before you get yourself hurt.
What?
Hey! I saw what happened. You bumped into him. Now you need to get back to class.
It takes all of us, the responsible friend, the responsible adult, the innocent bystander, even the targeted individual who inadvertently or intentionally becomes the subject of the conflict. He needs to step up and say, my bad. Everybody plays a role, even though it may not play out the way we anticipate. Nonetheless, you said something, and that's what genuine friends and selfless thinking people, innocent bystanders do. They step up and say something. This technique will prove to be very helpful when situations like this arise. Just with the bystander getting involved, Terrence didn't have the opportunity to get mad. Whisper to Tasir, walk back to grab the gun. A wise man once said, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pitchers of silver. Say something. It could make the difference. Now let's look at a new set of scenario. We'll call this guy Mike. He gets into something after school.
Hey, what's the word? You see with me, right?
Listen, man, get out of here, because I ain't trying to hear none of that.
What do you think is running through Mike's mind right now? Was it appropriate for his friends to laugh at him? How do you think he's feeling right now? What about the other guy? Did he do anything wrong? What would be the appropriate response to a conflict like this? As you saw from the first set of scenarios, there are many ways any incident can play out. Granted, when you're in that moment, there are many things running through your mind. Hopefully by watching this, it will help you make that split-second decision. Let's continue. This is what we want to prevent. The end result will always be the same. If you are caught carrying a gun, you will go to jail. And for what? You lost a fight? It's not worth it. This is serious business. The police and DA will not accept he disrespected me. She started it. That doesn't work when someone loses their life. Let's get back to Mike. I'm confident we're thinking alike.
Hey, what's the word? You see with me, right?
Get out of here, because I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Nah, bro, keep doing, chill.
I ain't going down like that, bro.
Nah, bro, you lost. You swung on the first, chill.
Hey, watch out.
Why are you carrying it? And you know my brother died from playing with it. If you're carrying that, I'm done with you.
See how once someone steps up and says something, it makes a big difference? If one of your friends, boyfriend or girlfriend, is carrying a gun, step up and say something to a responsible adult. Just having the gun in your possession can turn tragic, as was the case with Michelle's family. Let's see how she chooses to handle this situation. What do you think she'll do?
How you doing? Robert Mitchell, Michelle's dad. We met a few months ago. I was hoping to talk to Mike about a situation that happened at school today. Is his dad around?
It's just me and him. Is there a problem?
Yeah, there was a situation at school, and my daughter told me about it, and just wanted to make sure he was okay. What's going on, little man? How you holding up? Come on, man. Pick your head up. It's cool. I talked to Michelle earlier today. She told me what happened at school. You good? Okay. When I was coming up, I got into a couple fights over a girl. You win some, you lose some.
What did you do when you lost?
Got up and got myself together, went to the gym. Back then, we fought with our hands. We didn't fight with no guns. You know what I'm saying? When I was old enough to buy a gun, I did. But I made a big mistake, and I didn't put that gun away in a safe place. My son found it, and I lost him because of that. Look, I understand what you tried to do, but things could have gone wrong real fast if Michelle and her friends wasn't there to step up.
I want him to look like no punk, not in front of Michelle.
I get it, no man does, especially not in front of their girl. But you should be more concerned with getting your education. Michelle, too. That's what you're there for first and foremost. Dating, that's just a part of life. So is fighting. These things just happen.
Yeah, I get it.
When you fight with your hands, win, lose, or draw, you still get to keep your respect. Outside of doing something stupid, you live to fight another day. But you don't think pulling the gun over a fight you lost was stupid?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys in jail right now that, wish they made a different decision besides pulling out that gun.
I didn't know what else to do.
I get it. You got heart, little man. I tell you what, go give me that gun. I'll show you how to take care of yourself. Hey, I talked to Michelle too. She knew she was wrong for what she did. But you know what? You never know what that other guy could have been thinking, man. Or what he might have had on him. So I'm glad things turned out the way it did.
Was this how one of your scenarios played out? I hope so. If you know one of your friends is carrying a gun, then you need to step up and say something to your friend and a responsible adult, because that talk will prevent something tragic from happening.
My name is Mahaj Brown and I'm 11 years old. I was 6 years old when I was shot, and it happened on August 12th of 2016. I was shot 10 times all across my body. Since I've been shot, I've had about 58 surgeries.
Yo, what's the word? You see you with me, right?
My bad, plan. I don't know trouble with you or your girl. Yo, bro, how come you ain't knock him out? Listen, when a dude get like that over his girl, it's best to leave it alone because you never know what you can do.
Fellas, you don't have to respond to every look from a woman, especially if she's with someone. There are some jealous, insecure men out there who may be carrying a gun. How would you feel if another man flirted with or cracked on your girl in front of you? My point exactly. The bottom line, stop carrying guns. It's not cool. If you're not licensed to carry, there's no reason for you to have one. Hopefully these scenarios enlightened, inspired, and empowered you to step up and say something. Before we close, I have someone that would like to speak with you. They lost a child as a result of gun violence. Let's listen to what they have to say.
My name is Dr. Dorothy Johnson Spite. I am founder and National Executive Director of Mothers in Charge. Mothers in Charge is a grassroots community-based organization made up of mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and sisters who've lost sons, daughters, and loved ones to gun violence. Today is December 6th. It's the anniversary of my son's death. I am founder of Mothers in Charge because my 24-year-old son, Khalid Jabbar Johnson, was murdered. Shot 7 times over a parking space. Step up if you know someone who's involved with a gun. It's all of our responsibility to save lives in our communities. Let's get involved to make a difference. Step up.
You guys have the power to prevent one another from dying. The power to prevent one another from going to jail. The power to prevent families from suffering. But that's only if you step up and become the world's greatest surveillance system by looking out for each other. Your world is a reflection of you. What you do determines the outcome. Selfless thinking expresses potential that uplifts people. Hope the message was received. By saying something, you can make a difference. Step up.